In this video, I'll be sharing 4 money habits you need to change to save money. The day I got the offer letter for my first job, I sat down and I made a list of all the things I wanted to buy with my first salary. I was just so excited to be making my own money, so much so that I left for shopping the very next day with my first paycheck. Despite planning to buy a lot of things, I couldn't muster the courage to part way with the money that I have worked so hard for. That day, I realized that no matter how big my wishes were, I only have a limited supply of money, and to save it would be the best decision I could ever take. I bought only the things that I actually needed, and I was much happier about it. A lot of things have changed since I started managing my money on my own. I've grown to learn that it's not easy to make money. I now happen to realize that bad money habits can be very addictive over time, and it will take you a lot of work to get rid of them. You might be willing to make adjustments in your budget to accommodate for that expensive handbag that you saw at the store in the mall, but it won't take you long to start regretting it. In the long run, you will need a solid strategy to take control over your finances. And the first step that you need to take is to shed off those bad money habits that have been eating away all your savings. If you are stressing yourself over not being able to save because of your bad money habits, then let me tell you, it's never too late to change that. Provided you are earning money and have the unending desire to save as much of it as possible, then here are some few bad money habits that you need to change now. The first habit is impulse buying. I used to be a victim of emotional buying until a few years back. My intuition will always guide me against unplanned impulse purchases, but I always had the habit of giving in to my mood. I would always go into the stationery shop with my brother to help him buy his school books, only to come back home with a number of magazines and comic books that I don't even have time to read. I was so gripped by the fear of missing out on sale season that I always keep tabs on everything that's related to shopping. In my early 20s, when I started getting the urge to start saving money in my savings account, that was when it hit me how much I've been wasting my money on impulse purchases. Things have changed a lot since, and I usually make sure to ask myself a few questions before I decide to buy anything on impulse. Firstly, do I really need these products? Do I have money to buy these products? How long are these products going to be useful for? Are there any cheaper alternatives to these products? I sometimes even sleep on buying decisions to help me get perspective on why and why not I should buy the product. Emotional buying won't look like a big deal initially, but it can really get out of hand if you fail to acknowledge it as a harmful money habit. And you'll be surprised by the amount of money it can save you if you plan and think before you buy anything for yourself. Habit number 2, credit cards. Credit cards makes it easy for you to spend money that you actually don't have. And sometimes the interest rates that are charged on them can be very unbearable. Another factor that makes credit card very bad for your financial health is the ability to just swipe and buy anything without the need to part away with cash on your part. Try adapting a cash-only lifestyle and you start noticing a positive change in your spending habits. The amount of money that you can actually carry in your wallet is limited, and that forces you to save it for only things that you actually need. Habit number 3, excessive housing costs. When I moved out of home to a new city, I ended up renting accommodation based on a couple of factors: the proximity to my workplace, food, room space, and the surroundings. The rent was a bit much, but I find it viable for the facilities that it offered. As I started living in the place and got to know the areas nearby, I realized that I could have gotten the same or better amenities at a lesser cost. As soon as my lease expired, I shifted to a new accommodation that allowed me to save a lot of money. Sometimes you don't realize the excess amount that you are spending on your houses when it comes to the things like insurance, rent, repairs, and other maintenance costs. By being a bit calculative about your housing expenditure, you can move to a place that will provide you the required facilities but help you save a lot of money when it comes to your housing costs. Habit number 4, keeping up with the Joneses. While it is good to pick up good money habits from your surroundings, it is often the same surroundings that ends up influencing you to pick up bad money habits and live a life that you actually cannot afford. If you wish to live within your means and save money for your financial goals, think to what extent your spending habits are governed by your close friends and associates. If possible, try making a few frugal changes to your lifestyle and consider spending time around people who know how to manage their money. Quitting bad money habits won't be as hard if you are doing it with the right intentions. Well, I also believe it's good to have cheat dates that allows you to buy things for yourself that you actually love. But be sure not to make it a habit. No expensive products can make you as happy as the savings that will protect your future. Now, those are the 4 bad money habits that you need to change now if you want to save money. Let's engage in the comment section and let me know from you other ways that you think you can save money, or some bad habits that you can share that way, so that we can learn from each other. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join this community on this journey to financial freedom. Thank you and see you in the next video. In this video, I'll be talking about 7 worst money mistakes that you should avoid at all costs. These mistakes apply to you whether you are in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, or even